Good morning everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and it's the time to do the tour on the first Sunday of the month, which coincidentally actually this August happens to be the 1st of August, so we're actually getting a tour on the very first day of the month. So all we do in this is have a quick walk around the garden, see if there's anything interesting, see if any fruit's developing, see what flowers are flowering for anyone that's interested, and just have a general look at the plants. So we'll start with and I don't do the tropicals in this as such, unless a couple happen to pop into the picture. It's mostly all the hardy ones. So we're having a quick look here at my peach. It still has fruits on it. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they're not really swelling. Perhaps the plant's not well established enough, but the fruits are only still just over an inch across, no bigger than walnuts, and there's not much sign of them growing, so we'll see what happens. So having a quick look round, let's see what else is. My Butylons in full flower, flowers all summer. Obviously I've got Daphnes in flower. There's my variegated Chilean guava behind there, that's Flambeau. I have had a close look and it has got some fruit set on it. Let's walk past the camellias. There's another camellia there doing very nicely. Closer look at the Chilean guava. Down there is my in-ground lemon. It's the best summer it's had so far. It's put on the best growth this year and looks the healthiest. It's even got a lemon or two set on it. They don't tend to get very large outside here because obviously the cooler climate and the shorter season, but it is nice to see lemons set on it. That's my kiwi berry that was supposed to be Issai and isn't. Obviously no fruit set on it for that reason. Blueberries are still loaded in fruit. The birds are eating them, but not too out of control. Obviously the Ajapanthus are now in full swing. Yeah, plenty of fruits on the blueberries, even though the birds are eating them. I've still got a few bagged. This first of my pineapple guavas is Mammoth. It is flowering sporadically now. No sign of any fruit set yet, but I'm hopeful that one or two will set on it. Again, there's plenty of flowers out on the Ajapanthus now. Fabulous large flowering heads they've got. The ornamental passion flower amethyst, got plenty of flowers open on it. It's recovered well from its frost damage. Next pineapple guava is my unnamed variety. This one is just I presume a seed grown or an unnamed variety that's grown from cuttings. It's had plenty of flowers on it. I don't know if any fruit was set, but I'm not too bothered because the fruit's not particularly nice anyway, but it's a good pollinator for my other feijoas. At the back there is my in-ground seedling persimmon. Probably going to turn out to be a male, so I don't think we'll ever see fruit on that. And as it's seed grown, it'll be of debatable quality anyway. My Caesalpinia, that's the one with the pinnate leaves, has finished flowering now. Didn't flower much this year, I'm guessing because it took some cold damage in winter. My only in-ground pomegranate, no sign of flowers on that. It doesn't normally flower until August, which means obviously zero chance of fruit, even if this was a fruiting variety. More Ajapanthus to look at. My Cardiocrinum has finished flowering behind there, so that's producing seeds, and up there you can see, just about see some Campsis. That's my trumpet flower that's flowering among the Buddleias. Next pineapple guava is my Triumph. Had quite a lot of flowers on it, and there's definitely signs of fruit swelling. You can see there some of the embryo fruits are swelling. I don't think it's had a heavy set of fruit, but there's definitely some that are swelling, so I should get some edible fruit by late October, November. A lot more flowers up here. and again 1 or 2 look as if the embryos are swelling where the flowers fell off, so should get some fruit on that. 1 flower stalk on my crenum this year so far. Can't see signs of any others coming up, but they will flower into September, so I should get more. Now, tucked away inside my seedling pawpaw, and I don't know if I can pull the leaves back enough, you might just be able to see, I've got 3 good sized fruit developing in there. Now, it's not a named variety because it would be seed grown, so there's no telling what the quality be like, but they already look nearly as big as the fruits I got last year off my other plant, so I'm hopeful of having some edible fruits off this plant and see what the taste is like. I think there's 1 more fruit tucked away inside it, but not viable to find it. This is my new raised border, which I'll be featuring in a separate video. Just started to plant it up with some subtropicals like those non-hardy passion fruit vines. I mean, they'll die in winter, I'm sure, but I've got nowhere to keep them indoors, so I thought, why worry? I've still got some fruits on my pink Moldovan mulberry at the back there, which I've noticed the birds have discovered suddenly. I've seen the thrushes around it. Also, here's one of my persimmons, no fruits on that one. This is a brown turkey fig, which looks as if I might get some main crop figs on it. They should be ready by early October. Doing okay with my Shinziki Asian pear. It's got about 8 or 9 fruits on it that I seem to be holding. The fruit that was on my Hongli I lost. Don't know if I better show it, but tucked away behind there I've got 1 fruit. You can probably just about make it out. I've got 1 fruit on my gyro or giro persimmon that so far hasn't fallen off. Got problems with my jujubes. Look at this one here. It's only just leafing out and it's beginning of August. It's got dieback problems. I don't know if that's due to roots or some other disease or virus. And this one next to it is next to useless as well. I think one's Lee and one's a Lang. My other ones have leafed out, and as you can see, I've got some flowers on them. No sign of fruit set, but it's probably too late now anyway, because the fruits wouldn't make it if they did set. There's not enough time. And again, this one's got lots of flowers on it as well, but unfortunately they seem to need very high temperatures to actually set fruit, and I didn't get any fruit set until late August last year. Signs of growth at last on my carob tree. Got this one from a nursery over here, but unfortunately when it arrived it obviously had a problem with root rot on it, and I've had to sort of do a bare root replanting, and it does look as if it's starting to show signs of recovery. On the floor there I've got assorted goji berries, honey berries. There's various mulberries there. That one's my Japanese raisin tree. That's the white Pakistan mulberry next to it that I've repotted. All the persimmons have recovered well from the frost damage, and I have in fact got 3 or 4 persimmons on that American persimmon at the back, which is a Garretson. And I've also spotted, I won't be able to show it on camera, I've got 1 fruit, I think, on my Rojo Brillant, and possibly 1 fruit on my Chocolatino. So there is, had we not had that cold weather this year that messed them all up, I probably would have got a lot more fruit on. Figs are all doing nicely. I've done a separate video which I'll talk about the figs, and if there's any possibility, I've got at least 2 Brabers coming, which will be ready in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. But some of the plants are producing main crop figs, which, as they've got to a decent size, might make it to maturity by might possibly make it to maturity by October. So there is a possibility of getting some main crop figs this year. Carrying all the plants at the front, I've got honeyberries there, Szechuan pepper tree. That one down there is the Che, or Chinese mulberry. That's one of my young pawpaws. and there's another pawpaw there which is doing better this year, and the one at the back you can't see, but I have got about 6 fruit set on the Prima as well, so it looks like I might get a few pawpaw fruits this year. I've got various tucked away here, various Chilean guavas, there's Kapow, there's Butterball, another pomegranate there. I think that one's wonderful, but growth hasn't been exactly wonderful. In front of it is my Medlar, has been suffering from green fly, but I haven't bothered spraying it as it hasn't really affected the plant too much. And I've got various pineapple guavas here. Won't run through all the varieties, but I know there's a Coolidge, an Apollo, a Marion, which is that one there. Have had a few flowers on them, so if I'm lucky I might get a few fruits set. I've got a Gemini at the back there, a Triumph and a Mammoth, so good range. There's sneaking away out here, sneaking its way in out here is one of my Tamarillos or tree tomatoes. That's my Luma apiculata, which I'm hoping to put in ground. That one there is my Azores blueberry. It's looking nice. That one is my blue sausage tree. Behind it a black mulberry. One of my 2 loquats, there's one there. There's an Oliver and Mrs. Cook's, and I haven't really been taking to growing in pots that well. I seem to have had a lot of trouble with leaf burn on them. I don't know if it was from overwatering, underwatering, or possibly a fertiliser burn in the compost, but they still look okay, but not as good as I would have expected. The passion flowers have completely failed on me this year. None of them have come up. They started to put out shoots in June, July, but unfortunately the excessive wet we had appears to have rotted them all, so I've lost all of my incarnatas. Chocolate vines have done very well on the back there on the fence, but no signs of any fruits this year, unfortunately. But next year all 3 varieties should flower at the same time, so we might get cross-pollination. This is another butterfly bush here, which interestingly is just a wild seedling. It's not one I planted. There was a seedling came up in a pot and I repotted it and grew it on, and now it's absolutely covered in flowers. It's a lighter variety than my other one. I put in a handful of fruits late this year, or crops in this year. Been a bit of a disaster. I planted them too late, and frankly we had a lot of cold wet weather, which never suits these tomatoes. You can see how sickly the plants are, but there's a couple of ripe tomatoes there. There's a few flowers on the cucumber, but the weather being what it is at the moment, it's very cold for August and July. I don't think there's going to be much in the way of fruit set on them, unfortunately. They really need to be in a polytunnel or a greenhouse to get decent crops. I'll plant them very earlier in the summer in a proper decent prepared bed. Got plenty of loquat seedlings coming up here. My elephant's ears that I left outside, that's Alocasia. They're, I thought they had all rotted away and they've all recovered, so I think I'll be splitting those up and putting them in separate pots. And just tucked away behind here are my white Pakistan mulberries. And my final little raised border, that's a variegated rhododendron. Agipanthus is doing really well in that one this year. And that's my largest fig. You can see how large the plant is. Didn't get any brabers on it because of the cold spell we had, but I've done some careful pruning and pinching in late June to see if I could encourage if there was a possibility of getting main crop fruits perhaps early in October, and it is throwing out some decent sized figs at the moment which are more than an inch across. There is a possibility if we were to get a nice warm August and September, I might see a few main crop figs, more of my tamarillos or tree tomatoes. So I've made it a very quick video, and I haven't gone through every plant one by one. There's too many plants to cover, to be honest, but I've just picked out things that I thought might be of interest to people in a very quick garden tour. You can see how lush everything's looking with the all the rain we've had, but it doesn't unfortunately encourage fruit growth so much when we don't get the warmth to go along with the rain. I'm going to cut the grass as well. Anyway, thanks for looking at the, if you've watched the video, much appreciate it. Very quick garden tour. Share it with anyone who thinks interested in what I'm trying to grow here. Got a nice mix of ornamentals as well as my unusual fruits. I love that border, it's fantastic. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and if you're interested in getting update videos, remember to click on the bell and you'll see new videos when they come out. I'll catch up with you on the next video. Brett out for now.